What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video on this rainy Friday morning. Today I want to get into Aaron Glenn dropping a big hint about his coaching staff. So we've reacted to some moves so far. Steve Wilks officially the defensive coordinator. Jets hire their special teams coordinator, Chris Banjo. They have a new offensive line coach. And Aaron Glenn seemed to hint that more coaches are coming. They just haven't officially put pen to paper, but there's an agreement. Aaron Glenn was on Sirius XM and he talked about this with the radio hosts.
You've been thinking about it probably for a while in your life as you became a very successful coordinator and you realized the next step at some point would be to be a head coach. And it's always good to be thinking about that stuff, and it'll happen naturally, which it did for you. But then it's the procedure of hiring a staff. But you've been around a lot of coaches. I'm sure you had your eye on a bunch of guys you thought would be the ones you wanted to come work with you.
Yeah, I have. And I think the good thing about this business is creating relationships and being able to talk to men and women that really love this game, really have a high competitive nature, and really endear themselves to their teammates or their coworkers. So when talking to those men and women, I try to see who actually have those traits within them, and then I start to look at them as the football knowledge. So we've identified a couple of guys. There's been some agreements with a couple of guys. We just haven't really signed on paper just yet, but I feel really, really good about where we're at when it comes to coordinators right now.
So the big one, obviously, which is still remaining, is offensive coordinator. But we know who it's going to be. It's going to be Tanner Engstrand. That's been the long rumored name. And especially when you look, the reason why I'm so confident in saying that is when you look at the Detroit Lions, just yesterday they hired David Shaw to be their passing game coordinator, which is the exact role that Tanner Engstrand was in with the Detroit Lions. So he no longer has that job, which means that job was available for the Lions. They filled it. And where could he be going? He's not going to Chicago. We know he's not following Ben Johnson because he wants to call plays. He wasn't promoted to offensive coordinator with the Lions, so that means he will be following Aaron Glenn to the New York Jets and will be the offensive coordinator for the Jets. I don't think it stops there. I don't think it's just Tanner Engstrand that he's talking about here. There's two other names that I would like to bring up today that I think are going to be on this staff. The first is David Blau, who is the assistant quarterback coach in Washington right now. He did have some overlap with the Detroit Lions earlier in his career. I believe he actually started a game on Thanksgiving at one point for the Detroit Lions. But he did a really good job, obviously, in Washington this year, as Jaden Daniels had one of the best rookie seasons of all time. And it looks like he's going to get the promotion and be the Jets quarterback coach. Now, wouldn't it be funny if Aaron Rodgers actually did come back and have a 29-year-old quarterback coach? That just seems so wild. But I'm in on David Blau being the quarterback coach. He has experience as an assistant already in the NFL, and that's the direction that the league is going. I get it. There's going to be people who go, no, I want, and some old veteran guy like a Doug Peterson or whatever the case may be. And I understand that. We'll put a pin in that thought for a second. I'll give you the vet on this staff coming up in a moment. But the NFL is skewing younger and significantly younger at the quarterback coach position. Josh McCown out of the league, immediately in as a quarterback coach. Davis Webb did something similar, the former Giant quarterback. David Blau is another example of that. I think this is a more than fine hire. The name that I expect the Jets to add on the offensive staff, that's the veteran, is Todd Haley. That name has been mentioned by many NFL insiders when Aaron Glenn was initially hired. It makes a lot of sense to have a veteran like Haley, who is a longtime offensive coordinator in this league, was once a head coach for the Kansas City Chiefs, was also once a wide receivers coach with the New York Jets, back when Aaron Glenn played for the New York Jets. So there's that connection, in the late 90s, early 2000s there. Those Jets staffs were unbelievable in, 98 to the early 2000s. A lot of impressive talent on those Jets coaching staffs. But moral of the story, they need a veteran on the offensive side. Steve Wilks is the vet on the defensive side. I think it's going to be Todd Haley. So I am more than confident coming on today and saying that the people that Aaron Glenn are talking about specifically, Tanner Engstrand, David Blau, Todd Haley, and potentially more. It might go even deeper than that. And we'll see. We'll keep our eyes out to see the official news. But this is the direction that it's going. and get behind Tanner Engstrand, because I'm telling you, that's going to be the offensive coordinator hire. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Hit the bell so you don't miss any videos. You get notified every time I post a video or go live. And I'll catch you next time.